It's Tania Gabrielle here, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes. This is the podcast where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers to help you align with the energy and make the most of the celestial sacred geometry as it unfolds. So today we're going to look at Pluto and the amazing transformational gifts that you are being given in the coming weeks as Pluto stations retrograde on April 29th while making highly positive contacts with Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter all at the same time. So this is going to be an amazing series of opportunities to actively, consciously create some very positive shifts in your life. Now, Pluto is the planet of intuition, of intuitive downloads, of the ability to see the unseen. Pluto rules Scorpio. Those two are literally representative of making what is invisible visible. And so Pluto is very connected to the awareness you have when you have a phone line to source. Basically, you're listening, you have a connection, a communication that is always active. So when Pluto stations retrograde, in the midst of so many wonderful positive transits to Mercury, communication, Venus, beauty and love, and Jupiter, expansion of abundance and wisdom, the message is very clear that you are awakening to your natural ability, that is your divine birthright, to be always inspired by the universe, by source, by God. So it happens on the 29th of April, and that also is very significant and indicative of the symbolism of what it is that's being activated within you. 29 reduces to 11. 2 plus 9 is 11. And 11 is literally the number of the two antennae you have that literally represent the light and dark, the masculine and feminine, but are the antenna to the divine. And so intuition, 11 is the psychic master. So I want to say one thing about the word psychic, which starts with a P, and Pluto, which starts with a P. And a lot of these P words, as I've mentioned many times before, are indicative of power, another P word. And so Pluto really does govern power. Now, the word psychic means to make a prediction. To some, it means that, and prediction is another P word. So it's very powerful to use that ability when you see certain timelines unfolding, which are, again, all potentials. They're not written in stone. Potential, another P word, right? So Pluto being so aligned to power and foresight and seeing the unseen means that there is a real responsibility with this planet. So right now, we're being shown that when we look forward to something, we don't want it to be about doom and gloom. So if you are following that kind of predictive programming, meaning the actual message that's coming through is about the coming doom and gloom possibilities, it is very important now to see what that does to you physiologically, emotionally, because your emotions are what fuels manifestation. So if you're emotionally in that fear programming, being afraid of something that may happen, right? Again, it's just potential that is steering you towards the doom and gloom possibilities. This is a moment where you just want to check in and say, is that what I want? Because emotionally, if you invest in fears and emotion, that is where your world is leading you. You literally perceive the world of doom and gloom as your future. So let's look at the fact that Pluto is not only connected to that power and that ability to have foresight, psychic awareness. But also Pluto rules Scorpio, and Scorpio is a water sign, and all the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, are very connected to our heart, to our emotions. So it's super, super important to understand the importance of your own emotions, how emotion, literally how you feel, puts your life in motion. So when you add emotion to anything that you're focused on, it literally manifests that very thing. This is why when you visualize what you would like to feel, the frequency that you'd like to activate in your life, it has to be filled with gratitude, as if it's already happened, so that you feel it in motion already. So this Pluto event on April 29th is a very important moment to redirect your energy, or literally make a conscious commitment to directing your energy to those things that you actually want to see in your life, want to see in the world. Let me also show you the code here. It happens on April 29th, 2022, which adds up to a 21 universal date. And of course, we're in the 21st century now. 21 is the number of truth in the ancient Egyptian numerology. It actually means the truth shall set you free. And the truth in this instance is how important the hidden truths are, the hidden unconscious drivers in your life, which are fueling your thoughts and decision-making processes. The truth is when you bring those forward and you literally say, I am going to take control of my direction from now on. I'm not being the unconscious directed person. I'm being the consciously committed manifester. I am going to reflect more on what it is I truly desire, as opposed to the fear programming that is driving my decision-making process right now. And I'm going to look inward more, because that's what retrogrades do. And I'm going to not be afraid anymore when something appears in my own personal life that I need to look at, or something appears in the outer world that epitomizes difficult, challenging energy. And this way, I will observe it, and through the observation process, I will not emotionalize it, meaning be afraid when it appears in my conscious awareness, either through the news or through in a relationship or something in my own life that I feel I'm lacking, that I don't like. I'm going to just see it for what it is instead of emotionalizing it. And that then intensifies the desire to redirect the energy and focus on what it is you would like to see. And once you do that, the energy around you changes. So Pluto then transforms. This is the transformation that Pluto epitomizes. So this date is important because the 29 is the gateway, the 11 gateway, and the 21 is the century, the truth shall set you free. And Pluto, being the outermost planet, is then helping to empower you through using your intuition, your inspiration, your connection to source, to your guides, to always be in the present moment instead of in the past, where fear programming originates, right? And then gets emotionalized and perpetuated. So let's now look at the three amazing contacts that Pluto makes right before and after the retrograde begins. The first one is on April 28th, where we have Mercury trine to Pluto. Now, Mercury is your mind, and Mercury represents communication. It also represents short distance travel. So there's going to be some transformation in your life in all or some of those areas. Definitely your conversations will be more in line with, I'm inspired to say this, but not, I think I should say this. Or the reactions that come from the past, right? We all have a history with the people that we have conversations with, unless it's a totally new person. But even then, we can project past history on new people. In any case, right now, we have the ability to much more fine-tune our conversations to be of service as opposed to reactionary. So Mercury trine Pluto makes that very easy, so that our heightened intuitive abilities allow us to listen as to, especially when we're in a very important moment in the conversation and we know what we'd like to say to the person, but we realize that may not be at all what is going to generate the energy for their highest good or your highest good, right? So there's going to be a lot of empowering discoveries in terms of your communication, connection, conversations with Mercury trine Pluto right before the retrograde begins. Then on the 1st of May, so that would be a couple days later, so we have Mercury trine Pluto, then we have Pluto stationing on the 29th, then we have the solar eclipse in Taurus on the 30th, and remember that we have the eclipse cycles starting at the same time, and Pluto is part of those eclipse cycles because Scorpio is participating along with Taurus. That's where all the eclipses are taking place, in those two signs this year. So that Scorpio impact also makes Pluto much more of an important player this year. So then after the eclipse on April 30th, we move into May, and on May 1st, we have Venus sextile Pluto, and then on May 3rd, we have Jupiter sextile Pluto. So Venus and Jupiter have been traveling together for a couple months now. It's been amazing to just experience this. And now they're coming together and both sextiling Pluto. So this is literally creating the transformation. Venus and Pluto are the two benefics in astrology. Venus governing everything to do with how you feel about your life, the beauty, the relationships, the abundance, your values, all those personal core representations of how you feel. Do you feel pleasure? And so this is allowing you to really move into making love and compassion and beauty your frequencies to focus on, as opposed to going into the shadow side, which would be to be materialistic and to not go deeply, to just touch the surface, to be skimming life, skimming in your conversations, but not going to the heart and really looking people in the eyes. So there's a beauty and creativity here that's activated that is just so freeing and joyful. And then Jupiter, of course, expands everything and makes you super motivated to experience positive change. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities of major growth spurts with Jupiter. Jupiter governs higher learning, self-growth, and wisdom. And also to really trust in the universal flow, in the natural flow of life. Jupiter is also very connected to gratitude, and trust and gratitude come together. So really take advantage of all the doors that are opening at this time. And these are internal doors that then are reflected externally. It always starts here first. And that's where Pluto is so important, especially stationing retrograde. Remember that when planets station, either retrograde or direct, they are at their most powerful because they're literally at a standstill from our view on Earth. They are not moving and changing direction, so they are very intense. So the fact that all this positive energy surrounds this particular Pluto retrograde, and the fact that Scorpio is activated through the eclipses, Scorpio being the sign that Pluto is aligned with, just allows for tremendous, exciting internal shifts that then set you on your way to perceive the world exactly how you would like it to be. The world of joy, of compassion, of love, of kindness, of abundance, of clarity, of awareness, of peace. You choose the frequency. It is yours. You literally are on top of the world. Pluto, power. You empower yourself by bringing your emotions to the very things you want to see. And you become the ultimate manifester as a result, and take the lead and stand for everything that is good, everything that is helpful, supportive, uplifting. So I'm really happy to share this particular moment with you as we move into eclipse season, which starts April 30th and continues on May 15th, 16th with the Scorpio eclipse, because this Pluto event is helping us to stay grounded as we go to the best resource we have, and that is our internal connection to Source. And remember, your own soul star code is reflected in your sacred geometry as well. And you can discover more about your code in a free masterclass at starcodeclass.com. I highly recommend you really rejoice in who you are at soul level, which you can do through discovering the meaning of your birthday. There are lots of numbers to explore there, and the meaning of your astrology birth code and your birth certificate name. All of that is covered in the free masterclass at starcodeclass.com. So enjoy that and have a beautiful week. And I'll see you next week for the Scorpio full moon eclipse. Lots of love.